challenge. I kicked it off a couple weeks ago, the first show in the month, obviously, and each week this month I am sharing a different tip on my challenge. Now, my challenge is your well-being is number one priority. Your well-being is number one priority. Very, very important. It should be number one priority every month, but we're focusing on it in October. And the reason I chose October is because we're coming into a very busy time of year, aren't we? The holidays coming up in November and December, and lots more social commitments, and there's a good chance we're going to be just busier. So let's use this month to really take care of us. Your well-being is number one. I shared the first week I just mentioned, and these are very simple, easy tips. They don't cost a penny, but they can make a big difference in your overall well-being, and that's what we're all about. So I mentioned the first week, one little tip was to connect with nature out here in Southwest Florida. My goodness, come on. I'll just say real quickly that being in nature is so important. Looking at the sky, feeling the breeze on your skin, so important. That has been proven. So connect with nature. Last week I talked about simplicity. We live in a very consumerism type of society, don't we? Think we should buy. The reality is we don't need to buy. What humans need is very different than what we think we want. If we live more simply, trust me, you will have greater well-being overall. Again, so many studies and research speaks to that as well. So this being the third week of October, I have another tip for you, of course, and this has to do with learning. I mentioned on the show before that I just love learning. That's something that keeps us young. Live and learn, as I often say. Well, learning is so darn good for your well-being. Whether it's taking a class, reading a book, again, simple things you can probably think of on your own, listening to a podcast. It could be learning new recipes. How fun. You can learn how to make one of those pumpkin cheesecakes I just mentioned, how to play a musical instrument, a new language. The options are endless. So just follow your interests and be curious about the world. It will help your well-being in a big, big way.